Hello everyone, we are back. I am Chase, here with my co-host Christian. We are your 2018 RMFantasy SXperts for the 2018 Supercross season. If you joined us last year, welcome back. We're happy to see you. We've got some fun and exciting things to talk about this year. And if you are new, well, let me tell you what we do. Christian and I, we break it down every week. We come before you before every Supercross round. We give you key stats on riders as well as tracks. We talk about big things going on. And our whole purpose is to help you guys maximize your points and help you make your top 5 picks and the wild card for RMFantasy SX. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this is your first time playing, it is a good thing. If you played last year, you know what I'm talking about, because what do we give away for prizes, Christian?
We gave away race prep, KTM 450 and 250 dirt bikes, along with trips, and I mean just countless prizes.
A lot of good prizes.
This year the bar's just been raised even more. We're going over $100,000 in prizes, over 1,700 different prizes this year to be given out alone. So there's it's free to play. There's no better way to do Supercross. So
it is free. Did you hear that? 100 weekly winners after every Supercross round. So even if you get a late start, if you get signed up later in the year, do not fret, because you still have a ton of chances to win prizes. And you guys got to remember, there's going to be double points rounds.
Drop your 2 lowest scores at the end of the year.
So even if you feel like you're way down, trust me, I've seen big things happen. So to get this started, let's talk about some of the big changes new for 2018.
All right, so heading into 2018, it's not the same old deal. We got a lot of changes, new point structure. First through fifth, along with the other positions, they're all worth different point values now, which sounds not like a big deal, but if you would have put that on last season, Tomac would have been our champion, so it does affect it a little bit.
Okay.
Then we got 3 Triple Crown rounds. They'll have 3 main events each on the night and kind of do an overall finish there.
If you guys are at all confused about those Triple Crown formats, it's like Monster Cup. Same format, 3 races, and it's an overall score. There's not going to be individual winners for your picks. It's just an overall for the whole night.
Yep, and we'll get into depth when those rounds come up, because it's definitely a different strategy making your picks. And another cool thing, we've upped it to 100 weekly prizes round, which gives everyone a way bigger chance. I mean, that's 1,700 weekly prizes this year alone. So get your picks in early. They're worth more than ever now with your timestamps. You can always change them later, but put them in early, see how you feel when Saturday comes up. So.
Right on. And the other thing we got to talk about are team and rider changes that we saw throughout the offseason, just to give you guys kind of an update if you haven't been following too closely. Let's talk about it real quick. So first and foremost, Tickle Me Elmo.
Moving on
to Red Bull KTM. So the question that I have, probably a lot of you out there have, is
what does it do?
What do you do with this guy?
Does it move him up? I mean, it has to move him up somewhat, I would think, moving that team.
Confidence-wise, just being with Alden Ryan with Musquin,
Everyone that goes there seems to do well. I mean, I'm kind of salty about him taking Kennard's
quick
spot.
Yes or no, top 5?
No.
Okay, thanks. Next. Ooh. What do we got here?
Bam Bam himself.
Bam Bam Barsha is back on Yamaha. So he was on Joe Gibbs Racing, he was on Suzuki, he left that program. Now he's on a factory Yamaha. The question is, does this change anything from when he couldn't make it happen when he was on Joe Gibbs Racing?
It seems like he can't really make it happen on anything.
On anything?
So I don't know.
I love the man.
We're big fans of him for sure.
He's Bam Bam Barsha.
I gotta see him up there more.
I don't know, what do you guys think? Is the new Yamaha gonna put this one, Mr. 51, into the top 5? Next up, this one.
Even more surprising than anything.
I didn't see this one coming. Mr. Chad Reed. He is still Father Time.
Yep.
On a Husqvarna. First time ever he's been on a European bike that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do that great last year. I mean, he only had, what, like 2 top 5s, I think, all season, so.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Coming off an injury. He's probably not in race shape. Do not put this man in your top 5.
We love him. It's not a knock against
him. Just
him.
out of the top 5.
He's consistently one of the most picked riders in the top 5 that doesn't make it.
Yep.
So.
Another good one, our rider, Mr. Benny Bloss, full-time 450 Supercross.
It's just better for him. I think he's such a large human being. So we'll see what he does there.
He is very tall. And keep in mind, though, that Benny, he got, what, 7th overall at Monster Cup?
Yeah, he was flying. So.
He could be a sleeper. We'll talk about him in spoilers. But those are some of the big changes that we saw as far as riders go in the offseason, if you guys weren't keeping up on that. But there you go. Guys are back, just different teams, different bikes, so pay attention to that. But there you go. Those are the changes.
And then Martin Davalos finally moving up to the 450 class.
No.
I'm just playing with you there. We don't know if that'll ever happen.
Like, no, he did not. Yeah, he's going to retire as a 250 rider. All right, well, next up, we got to talk about it because everyone's going to be wanting to know who we're going to put in our top 5. So we're going to talk about the title contenders because A1, the hardest round to pick for. So let's get into it. This is what we call our points battle. All right, it is time for the points battle. So what you people see here on the table in front of us are our top picks of what we feel riders that should be in the top 5 going into Anaheim 1.
Just our safest picks.
Safest picks.
If you want to play it as safe as possible, put these guys in there somewhere.
Yep. So let's talk about some of the big players, the front runners that we're going to see. Now, the first we're going to talk about, Mr. Musquin. Get him up there.
Eli Tomac himself. Tomac or not Tomac is the question.
Moose, can you put him in your top 5?
I think we made a bad mistake saying he'd be bad on the West last year. He made us look foolish.
So,
and when it was all said and done, he put a strong showing on the West.
3rd place last year, Anaheim 1. Tomac actually took 5th. Remember, he had those arm pump issues, wasn't doing so hot.
Well, Musquin podiumed in both Anaheims last year, so there's no jitters there. I'm not afraid to put him in.
What did he get in the 2nd Anaheim?
It was not good.
It was like out of the top 5, I believe.
I think it was 8th place.
Yeah, it's really weird. But Tomac, 9 race wins last year. You could argue for 10. Musquin had an up and down Supercross season, but he was killing it in outdoors. He's done really good in the offseason. Where do you put these two going in?
Well, there's only been a few riders that have won the A1 and the championship.
Yeah.
And I like Tomac, but it seems like he always starts slow in the season. It takes him 5-6 rounds before he gets rolling. So I don't know. I don't know about the top spot for him. Where Musquin podiumed both Anaheims, was 3 straight podiums to start the year last year. And you take out Vegas and he averaged 4th place on the West. So I'm leaning more on Musquin, putting him higher than Tomac for A1.
Yeah, it's hard because Tomac actually had a better average start last year for the whole year.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so you've got Musquin ahead of Tomac.
I do.
All right, well, I actually will have Tomac ahead of Musquin, and I'll explain why when we do our picks here later on. Next, now you guys might argue with this because we didn't put Roxon up there with Tomac and Musquin, and I know, he's coming off a big injury.
Catastrophic injury.
Catastrophic, almost career ending, almost lost his arm.
Almost limb loss.
So we want to put Roxon in that top contender, but we just got to see where he's at. Now, we have some insight coming from a very special rider that is close to us here at Rocky Mountain, and he's going to give us some good info on Roxon. But for this, we're going to compare Roxon with his teammate, Cole Seeley.
The question is, can Ken be Ken again? Will he come back strong like he was in the first few races, just leading almost every lap?
Here's the thing, is mentally, the guy's as strong and as fast as he ever was. Physically is where the question mark is, right?
Yeah. I mean, his mind's there. It's if his body is going to hold up. But like we've said before, he's a freak of nature. If anyone could come back from that, it's got to be him.
Yeah. So. I want you guys to get in the discussion, though. Where do you put Ken? Okay.
What's the highest and lowest? What's his range?
Did we make a mistake by not comparing him to Tomac and Musquin, or is this right? What do you guys think? I personally, I see him doing really well this weekend.
I have him like a no better than 3rd. Type of range.
Okay.
I just want to see how he does. You know the team's talking to him. Take it easy. Get through the round. Like Carmichael always says, you can't win the championship in A1, but you can lose it. Exactly.
Words of wisdom.
Just get out safe is what I would tell him.
So what's our next battle we got going on here? Ooh, this is a good one.
Going into some heated encounters. Blake Baggett, Jason Anderson. Blake Baggett had the drama going last year with in the outdoors with Tomac.
Yeah.
And Anderson just has drama with anyone he gets around. So, I mean, we love him.
It should be Jason Bam Bam Anderson. I think he kind of took Barcia's spot.
Yeah, he's taking it over big time. So.
Well, if we look at here, so Anderson last year, his average start was 7.25, so not that great. But Baggett was actually farther behind at 8.24.
And you don't realize, besides like the top elite, Dungey, Tomac, Roxon, Musquin, Anderson's average finish is right there. And he's 4th best, 3rd if you take out Roxon.
And the thing with no Dungey this year,
everyone's
shifting up a spot.
So I like Anderson a lot.
Where do you put him ahead of Baggett?
I'm putting him ahead of Baggett just for A1. I mean, he always comes out on fire in A1 to start the season. And Baggett, I know he's good, and I've been hearing he's really fast. And, you know, we're always pulling for Baggett, but it's kind of the same deal. I want to see how he does.
Okay, fair enough. What do you guys think? Baggett and Anderson. So there you go. That's our points battle. These are our top contenders, riders that you can safely put in your top 5. Just in what order? That is the question. So you guys comment below and let us know. But next up, we got to talk about it because every week we get in what we call our spoilers.
Yeah, those riders that are less picked somehow find a way in and really shake it up.
It up. So next up is our spoilers. All right, everyone. So this is the segment we call Weekly Spoilers. We've talked about it. Riders who might not be on the radar, might not be the most often picked.
Yeah.
But
ones you might want to gamble on.
You could put them in your top 5 and wouldn't be surprising. Now we have a very special guest on the line to help us out with this segment.
Our real insider.
Our real inside info here. Mr. Adam McNabb, the 7 Deuce Deuce, he is on the phone. Mr. Adam, what's cracking?
What's up, guys? Good to be on Fantasy Supercross. Checking it out, getting some training done today. Can't wait for A1, just right around the corner. Just getting ready.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now, Adam, we were talking earlier about Mr. Ken Roxon. You're close to the guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there wanting to know, can Ken be Ken again? Briefly, give us a rundown on Roxon.
Let's just put it this way. Let's put this in a nutshell. If somebody gave me $1 million and said you could keep this money if you predicted who wins A1, I would put that $1 million on Ken Roxon.
Wow.
You're not saying that just because you train with the guy.
Well, that's the thing is I trained with him, a year ago. And I trained with him 2 years ago, and I trained with him this year. And Ken Roxon is who he is because of how mentally strong he is and who he is as a person. He gets on that bike, and that it really means nothing. That arm, there's no thought, there's no anything. Ken Roxon is a racer down to his core, and I hope everybody else is ready for it because he's going to put a world of hurt on some competition. Sure.
So no limitations at all on him.
No, not even. I like no questions asked. And if he doesn't win A1, he'll win in the second round or the third one. I mean, he's absolutely championship contender.
Wow.
All right, you guys have heard it. Roxon, he's there. According to the 7 Deuce Deuce, safe bet to put Roxon up there. All right. Well, thank you for that insider, Adam. Now, next, we got to talk about our weekly spoilers. These are riders that we want to know, who do you think might not be on everyone's radar going into Anaheim 1, but if these riders crack the top 5, you can look at the person and say, I told you so. Who would you put in that list?
I would definitely have to start out with Dean Wilson. I think he's one of those guys last year, started out as a privateer, got that Husqvarna ride. I feel like he had a great year, stayed healthy, did exactly what he wanted to do. Now he's got another year under his belt. Coming into Anaheim 1, had an off-season win at SX Open over his teammate Jason Anderson. The dude's on a roll. I feel like he's been strong, he's been healthy, and he's coming into A1, and I think he wants to kind of be one of those guys to show everybody that he is that championship contending guy in the future. I don't think he's quite there yet, but I think he does have the speed and confidence to be in the top 5.
He made 2 top 5s on the West last year.
He did.
And the thing to watch with him is he usually finishes one spot better than where he's qualifying on the West. So watch where he's qualifying, see where he's at.
Yeah. Another guy, I heard through the grapevine, Weston's been doing absolutely phenomenal. The best he's ever looked from some really reliable sources. I haven't had the chance to actually see him ride. I guess he's been back in JGR, and then he's been up at the Suzuki test track doing some other stuff. But he's another guy you're going to have to look for to put in the top 5. Really, really strong right now. Super fit. Another guy, Josh Grant, riding on that Cowie. came off another one of those guys that just had a solid year last year. Had a few little ups and downs, but for the most part, I feel like that was one of Josh Grant's best years, especially on a 450. Cooper Webb, you know, he's one of those guys that struggled last year, had some shining moments, lot of up and down, but I feel like the downs were a little bit farther down, you know, and then the ups were really high, so you never know what happened to him, and I'm sure he wants to get a little bit more consistency this year, and supposedly he's on a better bike, so...
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Okay.
Yeah, so he's on that new bike, and that was something that I've heard that he kind of developed and, you know, and made a little bit better towards that whole Cooper Webb program.
Okay, perfect. Well, we got one more weekly spoiler that you have on there.
And he's is that Brock Tickle?
Yeah, it's Mr. Tickle Me Elmo over here.
You know, and that he's always one of those guys where if he's feeling it, he looks really good, and he does really, really well. You know, like, for instance, Detroit qualified first. You know, I think he's had a podium there in the past. But, you know, it seems like when these guys, same with Mitch Payton, these guys get on these certain teams and they know their bikes can win, it seems to change their whole attitude on everything. And I think with Brock Tickle moving to that factory KTM squad, having Roger DeCoster as such a great mentor and knowing that that bike can do what it's done in the past, I think it's just one of those things that's going to take him to the next level. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Brock Tickle not only a top 5 guy, but a podium guy on a consistent basis. I would say Brock Tickle would podium 7 rounds this season. I don't think he's going to get a win. I think Brock Tickle is going to do a lot better than a lot of people think this year.
All right.
I think that bike and I think that team, I think he's going to do really good. I think for sure top 5. But I think you're going to see some podiums out of Tickle like you haven't before.
Interesting. Well, there you guys heard it from the man, the 7 Deuce Deuce.
The man, the myth, the legend.
You can't get any more inside than that.
No.
Straight up. No, I mean, I've been training with a lot of guys. I've seen a lot of guys. I've heard about a lot of guys. And I definitely have that insider niche. So, you know, one thing you would do on my fantasy picks that I'm going to do is maybe look back at the results, you know, from Anaheim last year and see how people do. Because sometimes people don't mesh on that West Coast dirt. But, man, it's just so crazy at A1. Everybody has a new ride. Everybody's got that new confidence. You know, have you trained hard? Are you willing to do that work that you did in the off season? Everybody's coming in nice and fresh. You don't really, like, I don't even really know who has nicks and bruises on them as of right now. But it's definitely going to be fun coming A1 here this weekend.
Right on. Well, hey, Adam, thanks so much, man, for giving us your time. And good luck to you out there, man.
Boys. Heck yeah, I'm looking for a lot of main events this year. Me and Tyler have been working our tails off, and I'm excited to showcase what we've been doing this whole offseason.
Right on, man. Well, hey, the best of luck to you, and we'll see you out there.
Heck yeah, thanks, boys.
All right, we'll see ya. Well, there you go. You guys have heard it. Weekly spoilers coming from the 7 Deuce Deuce. I love that guy.
And everyone,
I love that guy.
People's champ.
He is.
So.
Anyway, so you guys have heard it. Those are our weekly spoilers. So next up, we got to lock them down.
Let's do it.
All right, it is time for us to lock them down. We're going to make our top 5 picks. And remember, guys, you can play with Christian and I, see our picks. You guys can stack it up against us. And if you're kicking our butts, more props to you. But I got a feeling we're going to do well this year.
I can feel it.
I know.
I'm going for it. So.
All right. So, my top 5, starting over here. Number 1, first place. Tomac, he's going to do it. He's going to take the momentum from 2017, roll it into 2018.
He's going to be the first Kawasaki rider since Villapoto to be the favorite to win A1 and the championship.
True story. In what, 2012?
2012.
Oh, man, I'm good. Marvin Muscan, put him in your top 5. Second place. I'm going to get hate for this. Ken Roxon, third place.
It's a safe bet. I like it.
It is a safe bet. Mr. Cole Seeley, he is on a roll. He's going to be in 4th place. And my fifth place rider, I've got El Chupacabra, Mr. Blake Baggett. And for my wild card, I'm not going to put him in my top 5 after talking to Adam, but I still think Pike, he's going to be right there close to top 5, and wild card this week is 7th place, so I've got Pike for my wild card.
I like what you're doing here. I'm going to make some changes to it, though.
You what?
I'm going to make a few changes here, though.
Okay, that was your biggest mistake.
Marvin going for that.
Cost you 26 points.
I mean, they've been waiting for a champ like him in France. It's been a long time since a foreigner's taken it, so I'm moving him up. Eli Tomac second. This guy's got to get put back. Jason Anderson in third. Roxon in fourth, and then I think you got these two flip-flops, so. Only one rider difference. I put in Anderson to take out Seeley.
So Roxon off the podium.
Roxon off the podium.
5th.
Pike just scares me. I don't want to make him mad.
So I guess we always say play it safe in round 1. I don't feel like you're doing that right here.
I just feel like everyone is going to try to get out clean. So we'll see what happens.
All right, everyone. So there they are. Those are our top 5 picks for Anaheim 1. You have until the night show begins to get your picks in, but do it soon because those timestamps are crucial for
the 100 weekly prizes we're giving out.
We're going to talk about next.
Okay, so like always, the thing Fantasy's known for is our huge weekly prizes.
Killer weekly prizes.
This week for A1, we're giving away a pair of EVS Web Pro knee braces, Bell Moto 9 Carbon Flex helmet, Pirelli MX32 mid to hard tires, Pro Honda prize pack, Works Connection, Torque One, Galfer, Scott, Motogate,
Prosper.
and then 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards. So you have a good chance of winning. Get your picks in there.
There you go. You guys seen it. So get your picks in early. Again, weekly prizes, those happen every single week. So no matter when you sign up, you have the chance to win these prizes. Now, guys, don't forget, we have groups that you can sign up to play in on our RMFantasySX homepage. You can join up to 3 groups. Christian and I will be in a group if you want, play in our group. You can see how you're doing against us. But also, Mr. The 7 Deuce 2's had a mentic nap.
He has his own group?
His own, the 722 crew, he has his own group. So if you want, join Adam's group. He'll be playing fantasy this year, making his top 5 picks. You can see how you stack up against him and the players in his group as well. Remember, guys, it is free and it is fun. I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We'll see you next time.